Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing. All right, so that works. Excellent. All right, it is 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and that means it's time for answering your financial questions live from Cabot, Arkansas with Coach Steve Money. What up, Matty Bags? Hashtag mention. It always looks different on YouTube than it looks on my, as far as my camera adjustment. Looks different on YouTube than it does on my, in the streaming software. Alrighty, so let's get going. Shameless plugs first. YouTube.com/CoachSteveMoney for further financial content. You just scroll on down. And this show is answering your financial questions. And this is stream number 112. And 10 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. Take a listen to those if you're so inclined. And of course, Ramsey Show After Show. Currently, probably for the rest of the summer, doing those on Tuesdays and Thursdays after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends approximately a little bit after 6 o'clock. And there are 381 of those. So plenty of me to listen to. All right, let's get into some questions. Oh, I forgot to sort it. My bad. Apologies. Okay, 401k versus house, we did. All right, this from Ferocious Wanderer, 1, 2, 3. Matty Bags, I am not working there anymore. So I'm just doing my side hustles before I move back to Ohio. Ferocious Wanderer 123. Sold my car that I was making a payment on. Now driving a paid off car. About 18 months ago, I got a loan for a very nice car. 2021 Platinum Highlander Hybrid. I have never really had a car loan, and you should have done that. You're doing it wrong. I don't know if you are familiar with Mr. Ramsey, but he is the anti-debt guy. And so you are on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. You're not on just a financial subreddit or anything like that. You're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. And as you can see, baby step 2 says pay off debts from smallest to largest. And we're not taking out other debts, so it's no debt. So that was bad. But let's see. He sold that car apparently, according to the title. Let's see what's up. I decided to sell the car and drive my other paid off car, 2015 Honda Accord. Yeah, why do you need 2 cars? And the answer to that is you don't need 2 cars. Let's see what the rest of this is. I'm missing the Highlander, but I'm really excited not to have a big car payment anymore. Exactly. And so you're more excited, hopefully, about not having the car payment anymore. Regardless of whether it's big, you should be excited about not having that debt. And hopefully that would be more than how much you would be excited about having the Highlander, knowing it comes with the debt. Honda's a quality car that should last a while. Indeed, you don't need 2 cars. I'm going to try to put that money in savings, pay off my student debt, okay, and save for graduate school. So yeah, so you got other stuff to do with money than buy dumb cars. But also, I'm going to try to put that money in a savings. It's not that hard to put money in savings. You just do it. Do or do not. There is no try, as Yoda says. Empire Strikes Back. That was only 44 years ago. That's all. I'm getting it. Time flies, huh? Edit, thank you all so much for your words of encouragement and kindness. Can't express to you enough how much it means to hear your stories of success. Okay, great. Apparently. Normally you might put that at the top or all the way at the bottom, but he puts it right in the middle of his previous post. Oh, unless all of this, maybe all of this is his thing there. For those curious why I decided to get into such stupid situation in the first place, allow me to enlighten you. You just decided to do a dumb thing. Oh, schizophrenic episode, 1.5 years. Okay, well, stuff happens. Car payment was not a struggle, and the car was more of a necessity. Why? What's wrong with the other one? Drive them in the snow to school, and so the you can't drive Hondas in the school. Kids are not safe in Hondas going to school. So that's what we call a little justification station there, and trying to justify it, not buying it. So yeah, dumb car, debt. No matter what all the other things, schizophrenia and justification for needing it for a kid. I mean, if you have kids, why didn't you just get an SUV then? Everybody thinks you need an SUV if you have kids too. Bolt product. Need some help deciding. Okay, I can help. We can help. Or I can help, or something like that. There's a song that goes like that. How about 2018 Kia Rio, about 4,000, owing on it till October 2025. And it doesn't matter how long the payments go out to, you pay it off as soon as possible if you're following Mr. Ramsey's advice. But need to replace clutch, all new brakes all around, and a few other miscellaneous things. Did some shopping around. You better shop around. That's another song. Looking at around 3K more for repairs. Okay, now I need help deciding. Do I dump the 3K into it and keep driving it until it blows up and hopefully have it last until it's paid off, maybe longer? Probably that one. It's 2018, so not that old. So unless you can, the problem is you owe 4,000 on it already. So to get out of it, you would have to you'd have to pay that off. So I mean, you would have to sell it as is, and what can you get out of it? $1,000. So it depends on what you could get out of it, and then you would still owe that money. So probably keeping it would be the dealio, but if you replace it, you would have to pay off that 4,000 and also pay for a different used car. Dump 3K. Yeah, that's probably gonna be it. Do I trade it in? You don't trade it in, because you trade in negative equity and stuff like that. That just puts you in more debt, and that is even dumber. So you don't do that either. There was a recent one recent post on here, where the person rolled in negative equity 4 times in a row, and in quick succession as well. And so that is how you get into crazy debt. So you do not roll over, you don't do any rolling, you're not adding to your debt. So by being here, you might be interested in the Ramsey advice, and part of baby step 0 is where you decide you're going to pay off the debt once you get to step 2, and you're not going to take out any more ever. Let's see what else. Something a little newer. No, you don't do newer. You need to do as cheap. If you get a new one, it needs to be as cheap as possible, while still not needing a new clutch and new brakes and all that. Do I keep it, fix the brakes, and go get another older used car? No, you fix it and then you use that car, and if you continue to have problems with it, then you maybe call it then. But again, the problem is not just repairing it, but you still owe $4,000 on it, and so you would have to pay that off somehow. Like me, like I said, maybe without that work on it, maybe you get 1,000, maybe 2,000, but you would still owe 2,000 on it, and so that would be the problem on that. So it is up to you. It is up to the individual when they are ready to call time of death on a car, instead of continuing to fix it. Um, but again, you would have to pay that off while you're moving to a new car. So you would also have to. I mean, you can, I guess, just keep it and not fix it and have it laying around. But I mean, there's no need for that when you can get maybe 1,000 for it or something, whatever you can get for it, for even scrap, and you just, all that money lost is stupid tax, and you minimize the stupid tax by not doing any more loans and doing any more rolling over, because that just makes more and more stupid tax, which is what we like to try to minimize in the Ramsey plan. Relative Egg 682 has a car question. Okay, so single dad and kid had to leave job that paid well because no childcare. Starting a new job soon that pays better than what I'm making now, which is half what I was making. So here we go. My credit is crap. So the previous job paid well because no childcare. You couldn't pay for childcare. You didn't make enough on that previous job. And so a lot of people push themselves into situations that they don't have to do. So I don't know if that happened, but regardless, doesn't work there anymore. So not much point in rehashing it. You just try to learn from previous mistakes, like moving to Arkansas, that kind of thing. When you do that, sometimes that's a mistake. So soon to be rectified. Soon to be rectified. So here we go. Credit is crap due to previous marriage, now divorced. Great. We don't care about credit score anyway. Have a car I'm upside down on. That's a problem. What I'm considering is letting the car go back. That is the worst thing you can do. Again, what we try to do is minimize the stupid tax, and and that's the problem. See, the easiest thing to do is let them repossess the car. That's the easiest thing because you don't have to do anything. That also is going to cost you the most money. All right? The second easiest thing to do would be to trade it in and roll the negative equity in. And that's easy as well because, again, you don't have to do anything. You just have to go to the dealer. But guess what? The dealer's making money off of you, and that is increasing the stupid tax. So the idea of what we want to do is lower the amount of stupid tax that is happening. Obviously, you're going to have some when you start to do Dave's plan and you follow the baby steps. You're getting rid of debt, and a lot of that debt is stupid. And so by paying off the debt and any associated costs, then that's called stupid tax. Let's see. So you don't let it go back. Dumb. You would sell it for what you can get for it. And then you would take out a smaller loan for the difference, which is allowed. You can take out a smaller loan, like you can take out a $5,000 loan in order to pay off a car in order to pay off what you can get for the car, and the new loan amount of $5,000 that lets you get rid of a $10,000 loan, then that's a positive $5,000 in your debt payoff. And so that's why Dave Ramsey is fine with that. Getting a different vehicle more in line with the budget. So cheap. Filing Chapter 13 to clear up credit. We don't need to clear up credit. It doesn't matter. We don't care about credit. So that's not going to be a thing that is in the Ramsey plan. And He doesn't care about your credit. Neither do I. You do not need it for anything except to borrow money. And again, baby step 0 is where you decide you're not going to do that anymore. And if you're not going to do that, well, you're not following Dave's advice anyway. So you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You don't have to run it by anybody. You don't have to ask on a Reddit thing. You don't have to get anybody's opinion on it. You can just do what you want to do. I was doing well at paying off debts while at the good job, but now not so great. Yeah, well, stuff happens. You left the job and didn't want to pay for childcare, or childcare was too expensive and the job didn't pay that much more, apparently. As stated, the job I'm starting pays more than what I'm doing. Let's see what the rest is. But at this rate, a home is not happening. Thoughts? Yeah. Baby step 1. Yeah, you got a ways to go. Yep. So, there's no magic button to make that happen. If you continue to make dumb mistakes like this, it's not going to happen either. Getting the car loan in the beginning. Granted, you may not have known about Dave Ramsey before that, and so the only thing you can do is start where you are, but you don't file bankruptcy to clear up credit because we don't care about credit. You would just continue to use the car. Even if you are upside down, yeah, if it's expensive car payment, yeah, you could borrow enough you could sell the car. So you sell the car, private sale. You don't involve a dealer because that is going to make money for the dealer, and you could leave them out of it, and that would give you more money or let you keep more of your own money or let you have to take out less of a loan to get that car paid off, the upside down amount. And so let's say let's use 10 and 5. That's always good to do. Let's say you have a $10,000 loan on that car. You owe $10,000 on it. You can only sell it for $5,000, so you need $5,000 more. So you would borrow the $5,000 and just save up for a really, really cheap, like the cheapest car you can get that works. Have your mechanic check it out before you buy it, obviously. Or you can even get, maybe add $2,000 to the $5,000 loan. And so that would be a $7,000 loan. And of course, that we don't want to take out loans, but if it gets rid of $3,000 of debt to do that, then you would do that. And now that's not the same as moving debt from one lender to another, like putting it on a 0% another card. That's just moving it around. Doing what I was talking about actually gets rid of $3,000 worth of debt. And so the other way doesn't do that. I didn't open the... Did I look at it and there wasn't much there? Yeah, there wasn't anything else. Oh, about the home. And any thoughts on that? Yeah, you got some doing first to do, sir. Got to pay off that debt and any other debt you have. You pay it all off. And you save a 6-month emergency fund. If you want to buy a house, you should have 6 months of living expenses. And so you have to have that before you even think about saving the down payment, which is baby step 3B on a house. So you have some work to do first. So it doesn't mean you can't have one forever, but that means you can have it probably anytime soon. If that's the only debt you have is that car, that's fabulous. You'll get there a lot quicker than you think. Cool. Rude bids 642. Pay off car first or loan and credit debt. Well, let's see. Let's check out the old baby steps here. It says pay off debts from smallest to largest. Doesn't matter what kind of debt it is. IRS debt. That would be the only thing that matters. That would go to the top of the line. Let's see. Currently makes $6K a month. Car is a 2017 Chevy Sonic, 92 miles, needs some repairs. Check engine light has been on for a year now. Yeah, that'll happen. Despite my efforts to fix, many mechanics told me I have a timing issue with the engine or belt. Others said it's in the whatever. Doesn't matter. So it has that issue, but it's still running fine apparently. Also, monthly payment $377. Interest rate, yeah, dumb loans. Cards $9,300. Currently stuck on rather not my car is even worth paying off. Yeah, I mean, probably not. But guess what? You still owe the debt, so you still gotta pay it off. So, and there's no way to there's no way to make you feel better about that because it's just a dumb mistake, and the paying that off and all the interest on it and being held back financially because of it, that's your stupid tax that you're paying. And so I guess it'll be the stupid tax episode. Also, all my credit cards are in collections and charged off, so I don't think they're accumulating any interest. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Collections fees. I mean, collectors can put whatever fees they want to on it. They can put whatever fee, they can add whatever fees they want to. So you pay off your current debt first. How you do collections, you pay off current debt first. And you would then, after you pay off all the current debt, then you would save up X amount. Say you owe, what was it, 93,000 in cards. Let's just pretend that's on one credit card. The 90 or 9,300 rather on one credit. Let's pretend it's on one credit card, and so that's one collection item, and so you could save up $3,000. Or even less, whatever you want to try. $500 even. You can try to and call them and say, I have this money. Would you like it as settlement in full for this debt? And they'll either take it or they won't. And so if they don't take it, you can say, okay, I have other things in collections. I will call them and ask them if they wanted them. And that's it. And you just let them sit. I mean, they're in collections already. Your credit score, which we don't care about, is already trash. So, I mean, you can just let them sit. Let them sit while you pay off current debt. Anything that's current. But my loan, on the other hand, is ridiculous interest rate. Ridiculous interest rate. Was it not ridiculous when you took it out? Yes, it was. So, again, stupid tax. Went through Mariner Finance, and it's definitely accruing interest. Anyway, thoughts? Do the baby steps. Always baby steps. Baby steps. That means you have $1,000 only in savings, and you liquidate any other savings, and you put that savings on the debt, and debt is all you do. You don't buy anything. You buy only necessities for living, no luxuries whatsoever, and you get your dumb debt paid off, the current debts. And then again, once you get that done, you can save up a little bit of money and call them and offer it. And if they don't take it, that's fine. Just, let the collections debt sit. And when you feel like calling them again, you can offer them a different amount, maybe a little bit more. If you did $300 before, try $400, whatever you want to do. And you can call them and do that. You do not give them access to any of your accounts. You can pay with a Visa gift card or something like that you put a set amount on. So that's all they can take out of it, but you don't give them access to your checking account, and you also do not give them a payment method even until you get the agreement in writing that they agree that amount settles the entire debt. All right. Well, agua. And again, pay off car loan. Baby steps in order. Says smallest to largest for paying off debts. And of course, but his issue was he had the collections, and the collections you prioritize the current debt before moving on to collections. Motor candy, what to do with large sum of cash, okay? Any extra money you have, you apply it to whatever baby step you're on. And, best case scenario, it takes you through all the baby steps and puts you on step 7, especially if it's a really large sum, like an inheritance. This is an inheritance. So let's just see. Wife and I were blessed with an inheritance. We paid PAID off our house and have a 100,000 K left over. Okay. So they did. Oh, so now that we're have no other debt. Okay, great. So that's probably where they were. Hopefully, they did already have the full emergency fund and already investing. And so let's see. Now that we're debt free, our goal is to be able to work part time. She's a nurse. I'm in law enforcement. Enjoy extra time with the kids. Now that may not be possible. I mean, you set yourself up where you can even talk about that kind of thing by having a paid off house, and the full emergency fund and no debt at all, which is fabulous. But that doesn't mean you even can make enough part time. Both of you working part time is enough for expenses. And to do the mandate of step 7, which is build wealth and give a lot of it away. We understand we could both keep working full time and very well might have to. Yep, but that's not the goal. Well, goals have to be realistic. What would you recommend to use that 100K to invest in to have a supplemental income? We discussed buying a second house to rent, but don't want to do that now in California with, you can't. You're gonna buy a 100K house in California? No, the person's probably thinking about getting a mortgage on rental property, and that's a negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. You do not do that. Rental property is a business, and you build businesses at the speed of cash. No business debt. Again, baby step 0. It's not here, but it's implied. And I'll be doing the video on that, missing baby steps. Baby step 0, which is a bunch of different components. And baby step 3B, which is down payment for a house. So, but part of baby step 0 is where you say, okay, I'm going to pay off the debt when I get to baby step 2, pay off the house when I get to baby step 6, and guess what? I'm not taking out any loans ever again. So let's see. California, yeah, that's out. Yep, discussed buying property and doing a wedding venue, but I've heard horror stories of doing so in our country with complaints, permits, etc. Yep. For now, we have it in a CD. Thanks, that's fine. You can put it in the market. You have to not need it for at least 5 years, because the market could be down right when you need it. So if you don't, you can check a high yield savings account. Might do better than the CD as far as the rate. So you could do that, and that might be like around 5% right now. But you could put it in the market and get the average 10% per year. And so that generates $10,000 a year, but that is not going to make that much of a dent. That is not, especially in California, that is not going to be the difference between 2 people working full time and 2 people working part time. That 10K is not going to do it, my friend. So if you're thinking, I mean, it's great that you have you're trying to reach too far. You're trying to fly too close to the sun here. The inheritance, great. Allowed you to pay off your house. Allowed you to get to baby step 7. Fabulous. Fabulous. It doesn't, however, it's not unlimited money, so it doesn't allow you both to work part-time. I don't see that happening. It depends on your expenses and so forth, but I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that 10K being made a year, and that does keep going up, but even after that gets to well, let's check it out. Let's see how many years. Let's see there's the investment calculator. How about that? Let's do 50. I don't know how old they are. Doesn't really matter for this. So we would do $100,000, and let's just see what that means. That is a million. That is the wrong number, isn't it? 100. Yeah, one too many zeros. You don't want to give them $1 million. We're not going to contribute anything monthly, and of course we'll put in the 10% here. So by that time it will be in 17 years it'll be 543,000, and then at that point it will start generating $54,000 a year, and then probably average salary like in the Midwest, that will probably take care of you. But it's not gonna get up to that point to generate that until then. So, and it shows you what you'll have each year. So that's 1,000, 1,010, 471, 1,000, or yeah, 120, 110,000, 471, 122,000 2 years from now, or 3 years from now rather. No, this is now, and this is 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 134,000, 148,000. So so 5 years from now, it would generate 16,400 per year. And again, that is not the difference. Most likely, that is not the difference between two people working part-time and two people working full-time, especially in the great state of Tax-ifornia. Alrighty. Fun question. But yeah, any amount of money that you get, which they did, they put it on the baby step that they were on, which was baby step 6. And they have kids. Hopefully they have addressed kid college, and if they haven't done that, that's what that should go into. With a paid off house, you can put that under K, and then that grows 10,000. Depends on. You would have to. You're limited as to how much you can put in per year on a 529 or ESA, educational, tax advantaged investing account. Is what the ESA and the 529 are. ESA is national and 529 is state specific. And so that's going to have different rules across different states. But those do have limits on there. So you couldn't do the whole 100K at the same time in there. But some of that should probably go to saving for a kid college if you want to do that, since you do have kids. And if you want to help them, some parents don't. Some parents want the children to fend for themselves, to build character, or for whatever reason they have. Snazzy, should I pay off my car? 7 left. Well, you have to. You owe the money. Or go into collections if you don't pay it off. So what's the alternative? I have a Butte 25K and a high yield savings account at 4.5. Yes, you do not. Okay. Baby step 0, decide you're paying off debt as soon as possible, and you're not taking out any more dumb, stupid debt. So you do not have savings and then also have debt as well. So It says here, baby step one is save $1,000, start an emergency fund. It doesn't say have extra in a high yield savings account or have any extra whatsoever. It does not say that on there. Baby step two is pay off debts, and that's what you have, so you should do that with any money. You liquidate any savings beyond $1,000, again, or you're not taking Dave's advice. And so you can just continue to do it wrong like you are doing it. You can do it whatever way you want to do it. It's your life and your money. But recently acquired about $12K in my checking account. I had recently acquired. So vague. I have $7K left in my car with 5.59. Should I pay off my car ASAP? Yeah, so even if you wanted to make the argument like people make with paying off their mortgage, they say they have a 2 point something interest rate, and if they invest the money instead in the market, that's 10. That's debt leverage, so that's still a no from Dave, dog. But in this case, you're losing 1.19% of interest by keeping that extra $7,000 in that high yield savings account instead of paying the loan off. So this doesn't even work for that kind of debt leverage justification station. Should I pay off my car ASAP? Let me think about it for 0.00000 seconds. Yes. Or have a majority of it go toward my high yield account and keep paying monthly payments. Dumb. Thanks in advance. People are so dumb. I mean, for that to be the thing to do, you would have to be earning higher interest in the high yield savings account than you're losing on the dumb, stupid debt. My goodness, snazzy. Come on now. Come on. Full bench 4585. What would Dave Ramsey say about an Amazon Fresh subscription? It could be different for different people, but generally, yeah, I know he's big on cutting unnecessary expenses and living within your means, right? And so your Amazon Fresh subscription, like if that includes like delivery and stuff like that, you're paying more for it. You go your lazy butt to the grocery store and you pick out your own groceries and you buy them at the grocery store and then you take them home. You are the delivery person. Now you get up to steps 4, 5, and 6. You're on step 7. You can put whatever you want in the budget. But baby steps 1, 2, and 3, there's no subscriptions like this. No delivery. No. No. Bad full bench for a 585. But do you think you consider this service a luxury? Yes. Or could it be justified convenience? Justification station. If it helps you save time and avoid impulse buys at the store, you can't do impulse buys on a computer or your phone. You most certainly can. For context, I have no debt besides my house. Okay, well, I mean, don't have a Costco membership, live in New York City, so grocery shopping can be a bit of a hassle, I'm sure. Move out of New York City then. I'm trying to be mindful of my spending while still enjoying some conveniences. Is anyone here? What would Dave do, Flair? Like I said, I mean, you're on step 4. At least no debt besides the house. So assuming, and we shouldn't assume, but assuming you have the fully funded emergency fund, that means you're on steps 4, 5, and 6. If any of those apply, 4 definitely applies to everybody. And you do have a mortgage, and so you do want to be putting extra on that every single month so that you, or every 2 weeks, even better, so that you pay it off early. But on steps 4, 5, and 6, you can put that amount in the budget. But, I mean, people lie to themselves all the time, acting like you can't do an impulse buy on the computer. You can only do impulse buys at the store. That is false. So that's some bull. But again, you can put that in your budget on steps 4, 5, and 6. But before that, that's a no. Ramsey career assessment. Ken Coleman's career assessment. 20. They always people put these in here often, and it says, it tells you what you were created to use your talents of, what your talents are, and what your passions are, et cetera, et cetera. And from that, you're supposed to figure out what career would involve that. And I don't know any of that. I have no idea. I can guess discernment, compassion, justice. That would seem like some kind of social work. That's probably not going to be a ton of money in that, though. So you gotta think about that ahead of time. Just like getting the $100,000 degree and then going into social work and making $35,000 a year, not approved. Even if you pay for it cash, not approved. Because that's not a great rate of return there. But yeah, so I don't. I'm gonna just start skipping these. Cause I don't know. Like I said, I mean, if you don't know what the words mean, discernment, compassion, justice, look them up, and then think about jobs that require those things, or that having those things, having those passions, having those talents would help in. And so, but I don't have a list. I don't know. And apparently they don't include that and give you a list of possible jobs. Maybe they should. Maybe that's what they want you to contact somebody else about, and that's in the paywall. I don't know exactly how that the career branch of Ramsey works. Not involved in that part. Was not certified in that. And open the whole thing. Tried to tell needy family member about the baby steps. Well, you can certainly do that. The best thing to do is be a good example, because more is caught than taught, like Rachel often says. Let's see. My mother's rather envious of my financial situation. Well, great. So every time she mentions that, you can say, well, here's what I did. Here's what I did to get there. And you can do that too. And I can help you do that. Not with money, but by telling you what to do with yours. It's probably own fault for being too honest. That's no problem. I mean, some family members, you don't want to tell them that you're doing well off, because then they'll think, oh, some of that money's for me then. She's not proud of my situation at all. Will say things like, no point being the richest person in the graveyard. Okay, that's defeatist attitude, and so you just got to let those people go. You can't force people. You can model the good behavior. You can tell them about it, but if they're gonna no point being the richest person in the graveyard, I mean, that's just another version of you'll always have a car payment, you'll always be in debt, little man can't get ahead, all of that Eeyore crap. Right, let's see, tried to explain the baby steps process when she was looking to finance a car at 20%. Yep. She didn't even need a new car. I told her about building an emergency fund, etc., but falls on deaf ears. I mean, you can do as much as you can, and then you can wash your hands of it. You can wash your hands of it. You tried, and you will keep modeling the good financial behavior because that's what you're doing. But you can just tell her, anytime she complains about money, you can tell her, well, I try to tell you how to fix it. You don't want to know. She's now taking out the car loan and since found out she gives credit card debt at 23%. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Hopefully she doesn't have anything that she wants to leave to you, because that's going to have to be sold in order to pay off her debt if she's going to go and be the poorest person and the most in debt person in the graveyard, if that's her goal. Not very valid. How do you help these people? You can't help people that don't want to be helped. And she may want to be helped, but her version of help is you give her cash. Could be. I mean, I don't know necessarily that that's the situation, but that is what some people think help is, and they don't want to change what they're doing. They want you to fix it so that they can keep doing what they're doing, which is being dumb and doing debt. I offered to pay Dave's book because I raved about how it's helped me, and all she says I won't read it. I'm doing fine on my own. You got to let her crash and burn then. Some people have to crash and burn before they will change, and it being a parent of assumedly an adult here, older, and so the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be. But I mean, you can't do anything about that. And of course, Dave always says, anybody that has changed your diapers does not want to hear your opinions on sex and money. So let's see. Apparently, I need to remember where I come from. Yeah, I do. I come from nothing. Exactamundo. So yeah, you just got to try not to be vindictive about it. But it's up to you. I mean, if she feels like she has to talk to you about finances, or any type of complaints about finances, then it's up to you. You can certainly comment on it and say, well, I tried to help you and I still will, but you're not interested. You're doing fine on your own, I thought you can say. So, I mean, that might be petty or whatever. And so you can just avoid it and just, you can just say that's too bad or not say anything at all. All right. Shaktiman. Looking for advice. Hello, me and my spouse. That would be my spouse and I would be correct English. Both 35 years old, and we are currently working in the U.S. on a work visa. Okay, apologies if you're not native English speakers. This is very nice for a non-native English speaker. Much better than my version of your language, I'm sure. We moved here in 2016, and we have spent time overseas in between. Okay. We had some share of inheritance as land and money overseas, which is considered a good amount in my country. Maybe not so much in the U.S. Yep, in the U.S. we have 30K in 401K, 50K in high yield savings account, 10K in ETFs, 12K debt on our SUV left, and a mortgage of $350 at 6%. Well, then what you would do is for the 12K, you would take that out of you can do the ETFs. If they are not in a retirement account, you can cash those out. The 10K, you can cash out 12K of your high yield savings account and pay off that debt. Let's see, our combined gross income is 200K. I know I'm way behind on my FIRE journey. The advice is don't do FIRE. You retire when you can. You don't say, I'm going to definitely retire early. You might not be able to, sir. Only one of us were working until 2 years ago because of visa. Baby step 2 flare. Yeah, so that's good. So you're doing it wrong. Having more than $1,000 in starter emergency fund and investing, you're doing it wrong. Could have been doing it before. Found Dave. No problem, but doesn't when you get these where they're doing everything wrong against Dave's advice, they probably don't want to. Same as the mother from the previous thing, doing fine on my own. Then the answer would be to mom from the previous thing. So why you complaining about it? And maybe she's not complaining, but if she is complaining about money issues, then that's when you say, I thought you said you were fine. So, but in this case, again, if you don't wanna do the Ramsey plan, you don't have to. How should I proceed? Again, you would cash out the ETFs, no index funds. And you don't do brokerage account either. You would max out the 401K before you would have a brokerage account that has extra money in it. You wouldn't do that, and until that $12,000 is paid off, you don't have money in high yield savings either. But you can, I mean, what the advice would be to leave enough in the high yield savings for your emergency fund if you don't have any other savings. But you take out the 12 at least if you insist on keeping the brokerage account with the ETFs, if that's what it's in. If it's in a different retirement account, maybe that's like a Roth IRA or something like that, or another kind of IRA, then you would not touch that. You would leave it there, even though it was dumb to do that while you have debt. And so you would just lower the amount in the high yield savings account at 38K, and that will take care of that 12K debt. And then the only thing you would have was your mortgage, and you need to pay extra on that per month. Our combined gross income 200K. Let's see. How should I? We get to save around 4K minimum each month, which just put the high yield saving account and ETFs. That's not what you do. You put it on the house. You put it on the house. It is much easier to retire when you do not have a mortgage payment. And so that doesn't take away from your FIRE journey. That just puts you in where you can retire earlier because you will not have a mortgage or a rent payment at that time. And so I only put 150 extra a month towards mortgage. What math told you to do that? We also take care of our parents who are in overseas. We donate as well. Should I concentrate on paying my mortgage? Yes. Or should I aggressively invest in index fund? No. In retirement, you wouldn't do, for retirement savings, you wouldn't do index funds anyway. You're leaving money on the table because managed funds can make more than the index. It is a myth that index funds are better. Fresh line 4328, buying a car. Let's see. I have a question about buying a car. Okay. Let's say I want a 20,000 quid. I think that's for pounds. I don't know what that one is. I would pay with cash. That's the only way you would do it. I don't have any debt. Great. Own an apartment. I have about 100,000, whatever that is. Investments in stocks, gold, crypto, none of that advice. Single stocks, no. Gold, no. Crypto, no. So none of that's advice. I know he says a car should be no more than half of income. That's right. I make about 27 per year for my job. I'm in Europe, average salary. I mean, that's euro. In country, about 22,000 a year. My question is, my investments make about 8% per year. Should I count that as my income or not? No, because that should be retirement investing. And so you would not, that doesn't count as income. So no. So you don't get to buy as expensive a car as you want to. Sorry. If you're, following Dave's advice, of course, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. It's your life and your money, but that's not the, I know he says this, but here's why it doesn't apply to me. It doesn't have to. You don't have to even post this. So, but you did, so I get to tell you why you shouldn't have bothered posting it if you're not gonna listen when people say, yeah, he says that because that's what you should do. So there you go. Everything he says, it's because that's what you should do. Biceps and beers. How many months emergency funds, self-employed, and where to keep the cash? I'm self-employed. Never had a month where I make nothing. I do have highs and lows here and there. I also want to know where I should store this cash. You do have to have immediate access to it. It feels just having it in the bank losing value is a bad idea. Bonds, maybe. Quick access to cash if needed. You don't have immediate access to it, though. So your emergency fund can't be in anything that you have a 1 to 3 day transfer for, because emergencies don't wait 1 to 3 days for that. Appreciates better than a bank. Indeed it does. but that would still be a no on your emergency fund. Now, what you would not do is you still have 3 to 6 months of expenses if you don't have any debt. If you have debt, you should only have $1,000 in the emergency fund, regardless of whether you have the highs and lows, inconsistent income. But how you fix inconsistent income is what's called a hill and valley fund, and that's different than the emergency fund. Now, you can even have them in the same account, but those are two different things. And some people may even say, well, I'll just consider it a larger emergency fund. Whatever you want to do. But, again, you can do whatever you want. But the idea is that that's separate. And the only time you would go into the Hill and Valley account, not if you want to buy something more, but if you have a low amount of income that month and you can't pay your expenses. So it's not a catch-all piggy bank is not what it's for, especially if you have debt. And so you don't use it as a way to have more emergency fund. But inconsistent income, you can have a Hill and Valley account. It's just up to you to use it without trying to take advantage of the system, allowing you to do dumb stuff like buy things you don't need out of a Hill and Valley account or the emergency fund. So that's a no from Dave Doug on that. So you can do it. You just gotta be disciplined. And this is what the discipline comes in. Not that, oh, I can pay my credit card bill off every month. Says everybody that has ever had a credit card, and until they don't. So happens all the time. But this is where you would use the discipline and say, okay, this is the Hill and Valley account, this much. And so this much is going to stay in there unless I need it for a necessary expense. And then I'll use it. And then the next high month, then I will replenish that amount to the Hill and Valley account. So that it's there the next time that you have inconsistent income. Could also work more and make more money. Course, get a second job or work more. If it's a self-employed, you just work more hours, if that would equal more money. Alrighty, 22 a million grips. Okay, getting rid of lease with over mileage. I have a lease Edit 2021 Jeep Renegade that is about to mature and way over mileage. Don't go over mileage is the first thought, but you did, so stupid tax. I'm posting in this subreddit. Welcome to the stupid tax episode of answering your financial question. I'm posting in this subreddit, so obviously I don't plan on leasing again. No, that's not obvious. That's not obvious, unfortunately. It's the Reddit, and people just post in here, and I don't know what they're thinking of, but it is the Dave Ramsey subreddit, so they might expect to hear some Dave Ramsey advice instead of posting like, well, I know Dave says blah, 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 but here's why it doesn't apply to me. It applies to everybody. That's the beauty of the Ramsey advice. It is the exact same for everybody. And if you have some kind of problem that is an emergency, then you just pause the baby steps. It does not change the order. When you unpause, you will be right back on the same baby step you were when you left it. All right. But if you don't lease again, that is fabulous. The issue here is mitigating costs. As far as I see it, I have 3 options. And what we're trying to do here is mitigate the stupid tax for leasing is what we're doing here. And so that's fine. Return it and incur $4,000 to $5,000 in fees. Sell it to a dealership or wholesaler. No, because the problem again with that is that they are going to take their cut. So it depends on how it works there. So if you sell it to a dealership, So basically, you would have to buy it. You would have to pay the buyout. If you can you what is it? Finance a buyout just over 17 and try to flip it ASAP. High risk, high reward option. That's going to be no. Yeah, I'm going with return it. Incur 4,000, 5,000 in stupid tax. Otherwise, you will, yeah, not break even. Probably save a little bit on option one, though. Yeah, not enough. Not enough. So just get rid of it, return it, and pay the 5,000 stupid tax, and that hopefully will help you definitely not ever lease again. And then you buy a very cheap replacement car. Edit, just bought a jalopy for 2,000 and do not need to lease, nor can I afford it. I leased it at a time when I thought it would drive a lot less than I ended up doing. Yep, that's what you get for thinking. And honestly, it was my first car, and I had no idea what I was really signing up for. Justification station, but stupid tax doesn't. You don't get a break on stupid tax because it was honestly your first car, and you had no idea what you were signing up for. So it's a rough lesson. So it's stupid tax, and stupid tax is worth it if you learn great lessons from them. Can afford to keep cars. The buyout is well outside of my budget. Just looking for the best way to get rid of it, and you pay the stupid tax of $4,000 to $5,000 and call it a day. Speaking of call it a day, running out of questions. I have tomorrow's answering your financial question stream, and also a after show, Ramsey show after show on Tuesday. I will be perusing the. This is not run by Ramsey Solutions. The reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. Run by fans, but what is run by Ramsey Solutions is on Facebook, the Ramsey Baby Steps community. Make sure the group says exactly that, otherwise it's not run by Ramsey Solutions. There are other groups on there, including 3 dating sites. Last I saw 3 Ramsey dating sites. So fun times. Not advised, of course. And when I checked them out, it seemed to be mostly married people in there, and not, they weren't looking either. They weren't looking to cheat or anything like that. Just trying to be somewhere else where there was Ramsey people, I guess. What else was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. So I will be perusing that Facebook group as well, because they have questions in there that I can use. So I'll have that for extra question should we run out this week, which seems likely. So even tomorrow probably. So I'll have some extra ones ready to go. Once again, shameless plug, youtube.com/coachstevemoney for further financial content. Scroll down and answering your financial questions. Podcast. And that is this, what you're listening to right now. And there are 111 other ones. This is on show 112. Music playlist has 10, soon to be 11 Ramsey adjacent songs inside there. Give those a listen. And of course, the Ramsey Show After Show number 382 will be on Tuesdays again this summer. Tuesdays and Thursdays. I just changed the crawl at the bottom to say Tuesdays and Thursdays instead of changing it to the exact date. And so I will get on that. And for the plugs, let's see. Let's restart that. we go, and restarted. You can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. I'm Ramsey Susan, certified financial coach. You can email me about coaching or Ramsey stuff or anything else on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, to Cash App, $Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Much appreciated. Upcoming streams, of course, the show answering your financial questions, and that's Saturdays and Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Ramsey Show After Show this summer, Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately like 6:05 p.m., a little bit after 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's this Tuesday, August 6th, and Thursday, August 8th for this coming week. But again, the plan is for the rest of the summer to do that Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I may do extra ones. I never know. We'll see how it goes. Man, if I feel like doing an extra one, I'll do it. Whatever I feel like. God. It's a Napoleon Dynamite there, kids. Check it out. Ready? Make smart financial decisions every day.